Hello and welcome. We are starting off this Thursday with just lots of excitement and fun colors. So I just caught a CutterPillar, one of these great little clips. They're called the, it just says CutterPillar Glow on here. They have an actual name. It's a great name. I'm sure it is. But anyway, we have a special guest who's going to be joining us in a little bit for a special Facebook Live that we're co-hosting with CutterPillar, which Mom and I have sold CutterPillar for years. Mom's walking away. But years and years, we love it. A bunch of our customers love it. But Mom and I also have aspirations to use more of it. And we've talked for years about how we want to do more applique. And so we're very excited that Keisha's going to be joining us today. But I wanted to show you all Katie today because Katie is, tell me, what are you holding in your hands?
This is a ceramic mug that I designed and painted myself at Beehive's Christmas employee party.
Yes.
Yeah, in Harper, Kansas.
Yes, at the Isaac Shoes Art Studio. I'm not getting his name correctly of his pottery place, but if you Google Harper Pottery, it'll pop up. But it was really fun. You can host your own special parties there, or he has open play painting things. But I thought Katie's mug was beautiful, and she was talking about how the colors weren't necessarily exactly what she thought they'd be.
Yeah,
but I'm like, those are perfect Chiefs colors.
Oh, they are. I didn't even think of that, and I should have. Yeah.
So I just, she didn't make this for the Super Bowl, but, I just think it happens to have a really great dual purpose, which is what lots of things, we want in life are.
Yeah,
so
of course.
I just loved it. And you're modeling a stash tea.
Yes.
Stash tea. What are we drinking this morning?
I think it's the Christmas one.
Is it Christmas in Paris?
Yes, that one. Yeah.
Love Christmas in Paris.
Yeah, it's very good. It's my favorite.
It is. It's mine as well. It's just wonderful. I love it.
It's not like overly, it's not really Christmas. I don't know why it's called Christmas in Paris necessarily, because it's not like it's peppermint heavy or anything.
But maybe we should go to Paris over Christmas, and then we can see if it smells like the tea tastes.
Yes. Smells like the tea tastes.
We have goals. We have goals. But
why don't you show me how that works real quick?
Yes, so this CutterPillar thing that we're going to be showing in a little bit, Desiree's our producer. Katie's going to be answering your questions today. But I have all kinds of props with me. But I have a CutterPillar light box is turned on right now, and then this special deal, I have it, and I'm going to close it, and it has this really amazing suction cup to be able to hold rulers, and so it's really low profile, so it doesn't get in the way of lots of your markings. It doesn't matter if you have it like right in the middle of the ruler or kind of off to the side, but it's going to help you apply ergonomic, even pressure, so that when you are cutting on top of something, that you have some stability, and
it's safer.
Yes,
you don't have your fingers down by where the blade's going to be going.
Yes, we should really get it. We really need a fat quarter here of some kind. I don't know. Maybe we'll go with this green one. Green is the color of the day.
Yeah.
But so if you're going to cut something with it, it just makes it go, really well. But that's just right here. And so I have on the slide board. Yes, we have, and then this is our favorite. CutterPillar does have their own rotary cutters, but I really do love Quilter Select rotary cutters. So that's what we have on our cutting table at all time, and it just, it just cuts really well. It's kind of wild cutting on something that's lit up. And I am using a block lock ruler, so again, this isn't necessarily the ideal time I would use this ruler. This is a special half square triangle ruler that has this groove in it, and that's to catch on a seam. That would be another live for another day.
I think Keisha is on here, but can we hear her with this plugged in? How are we gonna?
Maybe we need to have it set up on a second phone to hear her too. That's a good, or we might have to put the sound on.
Because
it may be time for us to put the.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good point. We this is the first time we're like co-hosting a special party.
I'm gonna take this off.
It won't be. This has a delay.
This has a delay.
Okay.
This. Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
it does.
Because if you're streaming it.
Keisha, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can hear you now. Yeah. So we
Okay,
did take off our special microphone port, because when we have the microphone port turned in, it doesn't let us hear what's happening on the phone. So it may be a little more echoey than our normal Facebook lives, but that'll be really good. That'll be just fine.
That's okay.
We'll
make it work. We'll make it work.
If someone else watching, so Mom, we have the we had to take our microphone plug off so that we can actually hear her on the phone
Okay.
because of the audio stuff. So just know that we have the whole sound of the store. Yes. So anyway, welcome, Keisha. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning to you. How are you?
We're doing just great. We've gotten some fun stuff started this morning. So we've set our table with all of our favorite CutterPillar things. And
Great.
yeah, we've got Desiree as one of our producers. Katie is manning the laptop. Mom is floating around. I like to call her a fabric fairy during our Facebook lives because she just like randomly appears with things that we need, and that's always very good. So
Perfect.
yes. So welcome to everyone else who's watching.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on. I'm excited to kind of do some demos on all of our products.
Yes. So we're excited to have you. So I have a couple of our things that are like on our wish list thing, and I of course have my light box so that I feel like I'm prepared, since I have aspirationally gotten one of these out as a store model, but I really want other classes with it. So
Yeah. Well, the light boards just seem to help with so many different crafts: quilting, sewing, scrapbooking, painting, art, anything. So they're pretty versatile.
oh yes, and we were even talking about there's this new ruby star fabric that's coming out soon that's
Mhm.
bitty teeny tiny squares, and we think that they would be perfect foundation paper piece projects with the economy blocks from. So anyway, that just also reminded me that would probably be great for this too.
Yeah, definitely. The smaller stuff, definitely, because sometimes it's really hard to see it on your normal cutting mat. It's just really hard to see because you've got shadows getting in the way, dark spots getting in the way. But when the light comes from underneath, it's like a game changer.
Yes. And I this time of year too, windows are way too cold to use them as tracing surfaces.
Yeah, and it's so funny. I know, right? And somebody told me once they used their oven, and I thought, get down like on the ground and use your oven to trace? That would be crazy.
This is almost an insurance policy at that point.
I know. Exactly. Okay, so do you want me to just get started talking about what we talked about the other day, the different products?
Yes, that sounds good to me. Yeah, because we're gonna download the video for the people that are they're at work. It's really funny, Keisha. So we have a lot of people that watch our Facebook lives at all kinds of different times.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people. They've told us everything from like, I love to watch your Facebook lives like in bed with my husband, which I just think is hilarious. And then some people are like, I have you like propped up at work, but like down really low, and usually boss doesn't care. We have all kinds of scenarios. So we're going to download this Facebook Live and put it on YouTube.
Okay.
After the process too, so that we can hold on to Keisha forever. So, but yes, take it away.
Sounds great. Okay, so I'm Keisha, and I'm with CutterPillar, and I have been selling CutterPillar for probably about 6 years. Mostly, I travel around the country and go to consumer shows. So I've maybe met you. I don't know. Maybe you guys have seen me in the show circuit. Maybe not. But I love this product. Like these light boards, I use all the time. I like to paint wood, and I like to do different crafts. I'm starting to learn how to do paper piecing. I'm just barely skimming, trying it. But I've done applique, and I know that having a light board just changes your whole crafting world. So I'm going to kind of show you a little more in depth about what they are. So it's just like a basic light board. It's got the multiple levels of light. This one's particular has 3 levels of light, so you can adjust that as you need. So on here is where you can do your applique tracing, you can do your pattern tracing, you can do your paper piecing, you can do art, sketching, anything right on there. My son actually uses it to do his homework. I don't know why, but he likes to do his homework on here. I guess it's fun to have it lit up.
Well, I see, that's stimulating.
The cool thing about our light boards is they actually come with a self-healing mat. So it's translucent, so it will work on top of the light board. The back of it has a little bit of a grip surface, so that will keep it in place on top of your light board. So you won't have your mat moving around on top of the light board. This one in particular is called our premium. This one actually has a rechargeable battery. So you can take this one with you to a retreat or a class or move around in your house, you know, sit up there, watch football with your husband if you want to. And you could be crafting because you don't have to be plugged into the wall, which is really nice.
Yeah.
So I know right now you guys have a special, like a bundle special. I can't remember the name of it. Was it?
Oh, we have two different bundles. One of them is the Goddess Applique bundle.
Yes.
And the Goddess Applique bundle has the premium lightboard box, the tempered glass, and here's the tempered glass. It's substantial. It's nice and heavy.
Yeah.
And you'll tell us why it's amazing. And then the tote.
And the tote.
All three of
yes.
these amazing things with it.
So yeah, when you bundle them together, I think she's probably got a pretty good deal for you guys.
We do.
It's kind of good. Get all of the stuff together. I'll show you the glass mat. This is really kind of cool. So this is the tempered glass. This is a separate piece that you can just use on your table, but we like to obviously use it on the lightboard. It's kind of a mixed media mat. So you can do gluing, stamping, inking, painting, anything like that. But what's really nice is it will take the heat of an iron. So when you're doing your little applique pieces, I'm actually doing this really cute applique right now. This is what I'm working on right now, this cute little doggy. So that's the one I'm working on right now. So I've got these little pieces that you can line them all up while it's on the lightboard. Make sure he's exactly where you want. I haven't decided what fabric he's going to go on.
That's awesome.
And then you can just press it right there on the lightboard, which is really, really, really nice.
Mm-hmm.
The glass mat has the grid there, so if you are just folding your seams or you're trying to just smooth out what you just sewed together, you can actually measure and make sure that you've got like your 1/4 inch seam, your 1/2 inch seam, whatever you want to do, you can do it right there on the glass.
That is awesome.
So in the Goddess, it's called the Goddess package,
the Goddess
right?
Applique bundle. Mm-hmm.
Goddess
This
applique
is
bundle.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yes.
So all 3 pieces will actually fit in this beautiful tote right here.
Yeah.
So you can put the lightboard and the cutting mat right here in this big pocket, which we made it actually green so you can kind of find things. You know how like in your purse you always lose all your little like rotary blades or your little, you know, your license, anything in your purse, you kind of lose it. We made it green so when you look in there you can actually get down there in the bottom and find your little pins or patterns or your rotary blade, anything you might have put in there. There's the shoulder strap. It's got this front pocket right here. This is where I would put like the glass mat. And then you've got this little pocket right here where you can put like your electrical cords, your phone, your rotary blade, anything that's, you know, a little, maybe like your little ruler gripper. If you're bringing your little ruler gripper, you can put that right in there. It's really nice because it is double padded all the way through. And it's got your little reinforced corners here on the bottom. So you know that when you're taking your stuff, it's all going to be protected. Look at all this stuff she's getting in there.
You know, this doesn't have to get, I'll just take this home with me.
like a
I
Mary
think this sounds
Poppins
great. It's like a Mary Poppins bag, and it's got good foam in it too. But yeah, no, I agree. The lime green interior is just absolutely perfect because it is electric lime green.
It is.
It's not just normal green.
Very electric.
Yes. But for real, I aspirationally, like I have had this in my quilt room for at least 4 years because I think that's when I first found out about this company, Laser Cut Quilts, and their fusing papers. And that's where Mom and I were at Quilt Market, and we had CutterPillar for years, and like we had sold it because people are like, I need a light box. Do you have a light box? And one of our favorite, I call her a master quilter, but Roberta had purchased a CutterPillar light box at the International Quilt Festival in Houston years ago, and she does tons of wool applique, and she has this really great technique of invisible machine applique, and just whatever Roberta believes in, we believe in. And so we started selling them, which was great. But when Mom and I went to Quilt Market and we went by Laser Cut's booth and we saw them doing this, and they had a tempered glass mat on their light box, it was just like they were doing a seahorse, and I was just like, I have wanted to do this. I didn't realize that that's how you I didn't know you could like see through light colored fabric and
Yeah.
and like the placement mark. You know, I didn't realize how that worked because I have only done collage applique before with Laura Heine, so
Right.
I wasn't familiar with the process. But like anyway, I'm sure you're gonna get to these things. But back to electric lime green, I just love it.
Yeah, it's great. And having the tote, if you go to a lot of retreats, sometimes our hands are just like so full of stuff. This has got a little tabby here that you can just roll or like put on a rolly cart, so you don't have to have your hands full of everything. So it'll just slide right on there, and you've got all your little stuff together.
Yes,
I love this stuff.
This is nice and wide too, because like as you saw me earlier, I was putting in a lot of stuff in this pocket, and I can still put this on top of a suitcase even with this pocket.
Oh yeah,
the pouch being pretty full.
Yeah, and it's such a nice little bag. Like I travel a lot, and so I carry this through the airport. People are always like, what's a CutterPillar? What's that? What's that? Because it's a nice bag. So that's the applique goddess bundle.
Yes. Yeah, tempered glass, the coat, and the premium mat.
Yep, you get all 3 pieces, and the premium does come with this self-healing mat, so you do get that as well.
Yes.
And where do they go in
Great.
the rows? They go to the website?
Well, yeah, so they can go to the website, because that's where I was like, do I tell them the price because it's too good right now, or do I check out our website later, you know? It's on this hot pink post-it note. But it is really, really great. So it's yeah.
Yeah,
It's a great price.
go to the website. Go to Beehive
Go to the
Quilt Shop.
website, go to beehivequiltshop.com, and look up Goddess Applique.
Yes.
Because that's a great thing to search for anyway.
Pictures to be uploaded soon.
Yes. Yeah, the pictures will be uploaded momentarily if they're not already there.
Yeah.
When we have a couple, how much is the hi Debbie. This has been on your list for a while to purchase, which is a great, so this is your sign that this is the time to get it, because it really is great.
Time.
And so the pricing is going to be on our website. If you go to Goddess Applique Bundle, it's listed under pre-order because right now we are sold. We have one left, so we're basically sold out of the size of the cutting mat. But we have a whole case of them on order from CutterPillar, so we'll be having more in stock, and then we'll be able to ship it to you or however you want to. So you can either direct message us if you want the price, or you can go straight to our website and go ahead and check out with that in the cart. And then we had a question from is it Cassie? I just went to the eye doctor. I'm getting new glasses. But anyway, yes, you can iron on it if it's the tempered glass mat. You do not want
you want to make sure you have your tempered piece of glass on top of the light board before you use the iron. Because
but then
you will melt the cutting mat, so we don't want that to happen.
No, but if you do melt your cutting mat, because we're all human, we have replacement cutting mats, and they will not break the bank. They're very inexpensive.
Well, that's good to know, because
replace yours with lots of heavy use. But
yeah, and we always use our mats, even though they're self-healing. They eventually need to be replaced. So it's nice to have a backup cutting mat when you need that. Okay, so I'm going to show you a few things that look really cool on the light board. So like when you're tracing, look at how well you can see those lines when you're tracing. See that? And look how thin this is. So you could actually hold this in your lap and trace out all your patterns right there while you're sitting down on the couch or in a recliner. I don't know if anybody does any of the diamond art. I love diamond art. I have it hanging up all over in my room. So they're the little beads. Yeah, they're like a fun, addictive craft. I love it. So look how you can see that so much better. Like when it's dark, there's always shadows, dark spots that kind of get in the way. But with the light underneath, you can actually see the little letters and numbers and everything. Excuse me. And get get all the dots in the exact same spot where they need to be. Okay, we talked about applique. So I'm going to pull out my little paper piecing. I got a legit kit at the last show I was at. And so I have yet to cut my fabric, but I'm very excited. I'm really excited to try this. I don't have a clue what I'm doing, but look how you can see that pattern through the fabric.
Yes. So if you're not familiar with Legit Kits is a real company that does foundation paper piecing, and they have like these, I don't know, they're the incredibly dimensional pictorial images. So like they've had like I remember they had this giant dragon one at Quilt Market, and it was huge. And they have this really cool partnership that they're starting up with Riley Blake Fabrics, where Legit Kits is going to be having Riley Blake's new 300 different colors of solid fabrics that they're going to be partnering with, so that if you're, whether you're buying a Legit Kit complete kit and it's going to have Riley Blake fabric in it, or if you're going to have a Legit Kit and you're going to buy the pattern and the papers, but you want to get it yourself, we are investing in the entire collection of the 300 Riley Blake brand new solids. And so we're going to have all 300 of those in stock by the end of April, I'm pretty sure is the timeline that we have. So we really are making this the foundation paper piecing. We're making it where we have wanted to do this for so long, Keisha, and we're going to happen.
That's so exciting.
Yes. So show us what this Legit Kit, like what the paper part looks like or whatnot, because I have
it's so intimidating. Like I'm so nervous, but this is what they're giving me, and I have to find the right color and match it up. And oh my gosh, I still have full pieces of fabric because I'm just so nervous to actually cut them.
Well,
but I think I just need to do it.
Fabric, you can buy it from us.
But yeah, see how you can see, so you can make sure you get exactly where they're gonna go.
What a great!
I mean, it's so hard to do it without the light. Like, look at that. I can't tell where it's supposed to go. I have to kind of peel it back and wait, am I lined up exactly? But having the light there is just amazing. And you can do it with a cutting mat on there, so you can actually cut your fabric right there, and the mat's not going to move around. The pattern might.
Well, except for you have the magnets.
We do have a solution for that.
Yes, I already packaged them away, ready for me to take home.
Well, look at that. We'll just segue right into that. So what we've done is we actually do have another version of our Lightboard that has magnetic plates that are built in. So we made these magnetic plates to make the Premium, the Ultra, and any other Lightboard magnetic. So you get a pack of 6 of these, and they look like this. And what we would do is we put it on the back of the Lightboard. So I just set it right back here on the very back. And then now I can hold, they're very strong magnets, so hold on a sec. Okay. So if you put it back here, then I'm able to hold it in place. Now it won't slide.
Yeah, I think that's genius. We have a really cool instructor, because part of the reason why we have the retreat bundle package is because we do have a retreat house, and so we constantly have groups that come the whole house out, and then sometimes we have themed retreats, and we have a themed foundation paper piece retreat. I think that has a couple spots open. That's at the very first part of May, and so I think this is something that would really help some of them, because they have really intricate papers and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
and they're constantly. It's just kind of wild.
Yeah, it's a little intimidating. Not gonna lie, it's a little intimidating, but I'm gonna try it.
We believe in you again.
Yeah, having the magnets, and the fact that you get 6 different plates, you can just put it wherever you want on your board. You can kind of customize it how you want. And a lot of people are actually not adhering them down because they don't know quite where they want to have the plates live forever. And I mean, this one's not even attached, and it's just fine. I can move it around there. We'll move
But they really are like the magnets. They're only getting 6 of them is $15, and so even if someone wanted to buy 2 packages to have for their one mat, like that's it's a small upgrade for such a great tool.
And then your whole entire mat would be magnetic, so you could hold it on this side or up here, over here, wherever you wanted it to be held in place. So that's a nice little accessory, which I believe you guys have them on your website.
We do. They are in stock because again, Mom and I have been excited about it for a while. The owner guy he's so charming.
Jack.
Jack.
Was
Yes,
the
Jack.
Jack.
Yeah. We've met him at H&H before and at Quilt Market before, but he's just, I really love the story of why he invented CutterPillar because, their mom really loved to sew and he needed, they were watching her struggle with some certain things and they're like, we should be able to invent something that's going to help you, Mom. And it's like, what a cool story because it doesn't just help his mom, it helps lots of people. So,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It definitely helps a lot of people. Let's see. Now, do you want me to talk about the mini?
Yes, because the mini's adorable.
Okay. The mini is adorable. This is one of our newest products that we just came out. I think it came out in May-ish. So look how cute this little guy is. So it's about half the size of the premium. This one actually has 4 levels of light. So you can adjust that to 4 levels. It's got the same kind of cutting mat that comes on the premium. So it's got that texture on the back. The one thing I do like about this model is the mat will actually cover the entire board. So when you're using your rotary blade, you don't have to worry about going off the edge and hurting your light board. So it does that, which is really nice. The other cool thing is really hard to show you on video, but it's actually got the built-in magnetic plates already. So you don't need those extra little magnet plates unless you wanted to add more, of course, to your light board. So it automatically has the plates built in. So it's magnetic right from the get-go.
Love that.
So this is a really nice option. It's kind of, especially when you were talking about like those really tiny pieces that they're going to be cutting out, this is a really good size for those really, really tiny, intricate pieces. And it is brighter, so it does have that brighter setting, so you can really, really see what you're doing.
Yeah.
And of course, we make a little tote for it, because why not?
Yes, because it's adorable.
It is adorable. And we actually made this tote a little bit different than any of our other totes. So it like opens up like a book. So we'll open up this way.
Oh, that's great. Just like, the good iPad ones.
Yeah, and it's double padded just like the other ones that we have. But you've got this little sleeve right here. This would be where you could put your light board. We'll just slide right in there. You've got a little tabby right here in the middle that you can put like a pen or a pencil. You've got 2 little pockets over here. One is mesh, the other one is solid. So like your rotary blades, your sharp things can go in there so it won't come through this mesh part. And then you've also got a pocket right here where you can put like patterns or rulers or anything else that you want to take with you. So they all just fold nice together. And then it's got another pocket out here on the front. You can slide your phone in there, your keys, whatever. And then you've got this little handle so you can take your cute little tote with you.
Oh, yeah.
It does come with a shoulder strap, so you can use that as well. But yeah, this is a great little tote just because it's cute, small, it fits the mini just perfect.
Yeah. We are tote bag snobs here at Beehive Quilt Shop, and we really do like it a lot. It really is well designed.
Well, when you invest in something, you want to keep it protected, and all of our totes do keep all of our light boards very protected. So.
Yes, and I love that the mini is the size, like it is the size that will fit a sheet of paper. So one of the aspirational projects that we had, we featured it during the 12 Days of Christmas. But Marla, who has had a light box, she's had a CutterPillar light box for a long time. But she has this, she had this amazing quilt that she had brought in that was Suburbs. So Suburbs is a cute pattern by Cluck Cluck Sew. And there is this like viral photo on Pinterest that had this as a Halloween village, and like 0 credit, like you can't track down the maker of this original quilt.
Wow.
And I've even asked the gal who owns, Cluck Cluck So, like, does she have any idea who made this like amazing quilt that again was just viral? And I showed this to Marla, and Marla is just one of those creative people, and she's like, well, I can do that. And so the next thing I know, she's at a retreat at our retreat house. Everyone in her group was making a suburbs quilt, but Marla tracked down and invented her own silhouette light box, or her silhouettes to trace on her light box. So she found these white images, and she had this whole collection. And so she and her twin sister went through with their light boxes, and they traced these silhouettes onto fusibles, and they were able to cut it out and make those as projects. But the neat thing is, half of these she made as black fabric silhouettes. So she traced it on the heat and bond, or steam too. I don't remember which one she used. But the that were like this is where, like, I did not realize how this works, but she had put gray paper grunge fabric, which is a light gray fabric. So she had this down on her mat. She had her gray paper grunge on top, and then she directly traced on top of her fabric this outline, and then she went back through and hand embroidered these images onto her quilt. And so when hers was done, it was just like a showstopper. And we featured during 12 Christmas, and then many people that were like, oh, that, you know, we just love Halloween. And it's just like, they're like, well, I want to make that. So Marla was very kind enough, and she did share her her original images that she compiled that made this, and she made the wall hanging size, because it really is art at this point. But I can't remember if she added rhinestones to it. I think, she did add rhinestones, but it's just so beautiful. But that was, I mean, like, I have looked at this Pinterest picture for years, and even though I own a quilt shop, I really wasn't totally sure, like, how does one actually figure that out? I just but then when I was able to see Marla using her light box, that totally made sense to me. And I didn't realize you could trace through fabric with the light box, like, and so I just had that aha moment, because for me, I just knew that Roberta used it for wool applique. So I just hadn't thought through all those layers of how neat and cool that was. So I love the mini is the size that even if you were going to do panels like this, that is going to fit on a mini.
It will. And if you got 4 magnets, you could hold it down in all 4 places and keep it right there in place while you're doing that tracing, so that you don't have any movement.
That alone is just genius. And I just got off an airplane as well, and so I didn't just get off an airplane, but on an airplane. And that's totally something you could take on an airplane. Because that is the mini is going to fit like on your tape, your tray table.
It'll fit right there on your little TV tray that comes down.
And they try to tell you can have like one personal item and one carry-on.
That would fit in your personal.
But my personal was this. And I had a bag inside a bag inside another bag.
You could just slide that right in there.
And as you can see, I'm sure I can put I can put this mini even in its cart. Can just slide in here as I move my purse around, and I can still use my zipper and just zip it up, and nobody will know.
Nobody will know.
The airplane comes by and says, "What would you like to drink?" I'd have my nice little CutterPillar mat out, and I'd have a grill, and everything would be great. I packed myself away.
Me and my best friend, we travel together to these shows, and she had bought all these little diamond art Christmas ornaments. And I said, if we don't get them done at the show, you're never going to finish them. So we brought our light boards on the airplane. It was a night flight, so we had to keep it really low, but we both sat there with our CutterPillars, and we were just doing our little art. And everyone's like, can you turn the light down? Because it was kind of bright, but it was pretty fun to just be crafting on the airplane.
I love that. That's perfect. We would be friends, Keisha.
I think we would be friends, especially if you like to travel. That's for sure. Okay, so should I talk about the big one?
Yes. Let's talk about the big one.
All right. This one is actually my very favorite.
Do you have a big one? Oh, big boy.
All right, so here is the CutterPillar Glow Ultra. This one is 19 by 26. So this is the biggest one that we make. This one does have the 4 levels of light, so you can adjust it just like the mini. It has the 4 levels. The other thing is the mat will cover the entire board. So you've got that same cutting mat, but it will actually cover the entire board. So you get a full 19 by 26 surface area to cut, which is really nice because no matter how big your project is, it will fit on top of it.
These are.
It will actually fit a fat quarter right on there.
We base a lot of our life off of how many fat quarters will fit in the bag, how many will fit on the shelf, how many fat quarters is the quilt going to require.
I should cut a fat quarter.
Mm-hmm.
What I like about these cutting mats is that no matter what ruler you're using, the grid on the mat will actually line up with that ruler. So even if you have a darker piece of fabric, you might not be able to see through necessarily. The grid and the line on the ruler will actually get you more of an accurate line because you won't have the overhead shadows getting in the way. And you can make sure you're straight on either side. So it doesn't matter if it's not light or dark fabric. You can still get more accuracy with the light.
That makes total sense. There's been so many times, you know, like someone's like checking out their piecing or something, and you can tell they're just like one stitch length off.
Yes.
You know, from
and then you don't realize it until you take it over to the sewing machine and sew it together, and it's like, whoop. Yeah. So this one has a tote as well. I think you guys have that on your website as well.
We do. It's that giant gray one. Yeah.
Yes. It's the big Mama Jamma. This one is for the Ultra. This bag you could literally probably fit your whole house in. It's massive.
Yeah, I would.
So this one can be carried on the airplane as well, just so you know, for future reference. So it's got the big giant pocket in here that you can put your board and your cutting mat. You also get this front pocket, which is just as long as the entire bag. So those really big rulers will fit in here. Your patterns, you can even get the glass mat, put that in there. So you just get all this extra space to store all of your stuff. This one's really nice because it does have the reinforced corners just like the black one, but it's also got these little feet here on the bottom. So say you want to just store this guy because he's a little bit bigger. You might not have enough room to just leave him out on the table. You can actually store it upright, lean it up against a wall or slide it under your bed, anything like that. It's got the little pocket here for, again, your rotary blades, electrical cords, your little grippers, anything you need to bring with you. It does have the shoulder strap and a briefcase handle, and it's also got a tabby here. You can use this to put on a rolly cart, or because this is a little bit heavier, you can use it to kind of take weight off of your shoulder if you're traveling with it. Because this one is about 10 pounds, so it's a little heavier than the other ones. But again, it's a great package deal for the board and the mat, or I mean the board and the bag. This one, like I said, I've taken on the airplane probably about 7 times.
That's impressive.
Shows. So that is our Ultra and our Ultra tote.
I love it. I think it's really cool. I just got back from this art retreat through the MISA workshop program, and they had a whole bunch. They had us do all these different challenges that were there, but we did a lot of we did more like tracing and composition stuff than I've ever done before. And so we had to do watercolor stuff and paper collaging and fabric collaging. And so we were doing these smaller projects, but I could really see like some of the skills that they were teaching us, like, you know, what you could do on a bigger scale.
Right.
And so it was just really interesting, but it just had me thinking a lot more about tracing. And one of my good friends that I got to go to on the trip with, Mary Jane, she said she's bought tracing paper for years. And I was like, what is tracing paper? And so I got a pack of it, but it's a really thin paper because I have all these coloring book pages that like I just love, but I'm afraid to cut them because I think they would be great applique projects, but I don't ruin my original. And so now I understand what tracing paper is for. Like now I get that I can have an original and trace it and then still do something bigger or enlarge it. And so I think that that's definitely something that I could definitely see, especially if you're scaling up and doing something larger.
Right.
And I met some people that did self-portraits that were real improv, kind of Picasso-like. And that was really interesting. And I could totally see this being essential for making one of those self-portraits that the gals kept talking about. So
another one of my goals for this year, except for now I really am going to make it happen.
Well, and I find that like even garment sewers, they like to use this because you get your patterns and you've got like all the different sizes, and you don't want to cut up your pattern. So you can put your whole pattern on here and trace it out. That way you can make it in multiple sizes.
That is very smart.
Yes.
That's a great idea. We sold a bunch of what was it? We had a kids patchwork jacket.
Oh.
And kids grow like a weed. And I think that would be especially helpful, especially if you're going to make several different kids patchwork coats. And you just wait till a kid is a certain size. Like if you're going to make a kid's clothing outfit, you just have to know they're going to outgrow it.
Yeah, you're going to have to make it multiple times.
Yeah, so that would be super helpful, because I bet you can even take it like an antique quilt and have it shown through here if you're trying to center, a design of some kind.
Right. Right. So the glass piece that we kind of talked about before will actually work on this version as well. It just works on half of it. So this is kind of cool because you could actually have both surfaces at the same time. You can have all your cutting surface right over here and then your ironing surface right here, all in the same workspace.
Yeah, so for me, I'm right-handed, so I feel like I would put my tempered glass on my right side so that my iron was to my right. And
so you didn't accidentally put it on your mat.
Yeah, no one needs an ironing cord on top of a cutting table.
No, we don't.
But at the same degree, like if someone's left-handed, I would encourage them.
Yeah, then you move it to the other side.
Their left, so that their iron could come from the left.
Yeah.
I
like to do a lot of stuff with glitter and paints and stuff, but I hate the mess of it. So I love that I can do all of that on my glass mat, and then I can just take the glass to the kitchen sink and clean it off. And my cutting mat, my table, everything stays nice and clean because everything's right here on the glass mat. And even if you get something stuck on there, you can just scrape it right off. Yeah, warm water soap. It's just because it's actually kind of like your stovetop. That's the tempered glass piece. It's like your stovetop. It's like you're cleaning your stovetop. Yeah.
I had not thought about that.
Yeah. And the pattern is actually on the back side. So if you had to scrape something like fusible that got stuck on there or glue or something, you can just use an X-Acto knife and scrape it off, and the grid on the back will be just fine.
Okay, that's good to know, because I love stainless steel too, but it has all those little glass pearl bead kind of things that come off on it. And so like I'm constantly telling my students, like, just do your hands like this and let it fall on the carpet and we'll vacuum it up, hopefully. But do not do it on the table, because then it will be glued there forever.
Yes, it'll be stuck forever. So.
But now I know. That's awesome.
Yes. Yeah, and that will fit inside your big tote, so you can take everything with you when you travel.
I love that. Especially when, we have my friend Mary Jane, she's currently leaving to go on a 10-day grandkid watching trip.
Oh.
And so, which got back from another, thing in between those deals. And so this would be something perfect for Mary Jane, that, she's going to be with the grandkids, they're going to be at school part of the day, but then she needs stuff to do when they go to sleep.
Yeah.
And she can't.
She can have a little
with her
grandma time. So, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Mary Jane buy all this before she left. That would be helpful.
And I heard you guys were talking about the little grippers when I first got on.
Yes, these
are great.
These are our obsession. We love the grippers, the little grippers. So this has been like one of the most popular things for people to buy. Like, as we've had people get it for guild prizes, we've had people get it for like their sewing group Christmas gifts, like birthday presents. I don't know. They just get it because it really is functional. It's
such a good grip. Like, it picks up the glass mat. That's how good of a grip it is. It's very solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love those.
Ergonomic. Like that really spoke to me when Jack told us that at the H&H show. Because we're all about, like, how are you applying, even pressure or something. And so, like that giant ruler you had, like, it's not just for the little rulers. Like, it really does have some strength.
No, yeah.
For even
you can put it on any size ruler. It's kind of cool because you can actually thread your fingers in there if that's more comfortable for you. Some people like to hold it that way, or they like to hold it this way. And I just like it because you keep your hand away from, your rotary blade, because we don't want any of those emergency rings.
Room holder. Because I have met too many quilters that have just buzzed theirs, Anyway, we don't need to go into that, but
they've always got like a little nick right there in their index finger.
Yes, they have.
Or worse.
Yeah. Yep. So, but I really do love the color. Like, it's just the most cheerful color of green.
Yeah, it is. Green's one of my favorite colors.
Yes. And we've got this one too, the one that has the lights. And so so this is the one that's the most, but it's the opposite, because we have another gripper. We won't show you right now, but we love it, except for once Jack explained this one to us, we realized that it's like anti-ergonomic, kind of how you have it, because you have to put pressure this way, and that I didn't realize that this direction
in line
is great. And so when he explained that this is how your joint is meant to have pressure into it, I really thought that made a lot of sense. And I've been lucky enough to go into quite a few different quilters' quilt rooms, and most all of them that I've been to need more lighting. And it's just it's a family pet peeve of mine, because my dad loves light so much. And so I think this is really going to be helpful for just about anyone, unless you are married to an electrician and you have light in your quilt room. That is really important, because again, like those accurate cuts, they matter a lot.
They do. And you yourself will always cause a shadow, so having the light so your shadow is out of the way, it just, like we said in the beginning, it's a game changer.
Yes. This has been so helpful, Keisha.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if there's any more questions. I can't see the comments or anything, so.
I think we've got all the questions answered so far.
Okay.
And so that we've got, but this has been just very, very helpful.
Great.
Oh,
well, everybody go to Beehive Quilt Shop and get your Goddess bundle, Goddess Retreat bundle, because it's a great deal.
Yes. Yeah, we'll do that, and we'll get some tracing stuff. We'll figure out what other applique things are there. I'm going to show a few of our. You can stay on as long as you want to, Keisha, but this really has been just super helpful. I'm going to show them some of these laser cut applique patterns that we have, so if they're curious about those, because they've been thinking about doing an applique project, I want to show them some of those options that we've got.
Great.
So they can be dreaming of future projects if they're not like me and don't already have, an applique template that they purchased, forever ago that had great intentions. So.
Okay. Well, I think I'll say goodbye, but
thank you.
Thank you for having me on.
Yes.
And
great shirt, by the way. Forgot to show you.
Thank you. I like to have bright colors.
Yes, it adds. Well, thank
you. And it's
again.
great to finally meet you in person.
We'll talk soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Okay, should we go ahead and plug in the other speaker thing so it has that good stuff? Yes. So that is awesome. So we're going to so this is some of the cool stuff where Goodyear thing. I think I left mine plugged in. I did. Okay. So we're back to rocking and rolling. So that was so fun to have Keisha on for a Facebook Live. And so we've still got some time before the store opens, but I wanted to show you some of these projects. So there's a really cool company I mentioned at the beginning called Laser Cut Quilts, and they're out of Texas, but they have a special fusible product that's called Flexi Fuse. That's a really lightweight fusible. Most of the time I talk about Steam Esteem 2 because that's my favorite fusible for Laura Heine collage applique. But for laser cut quilts, their product is, I think it's closer to like Misty Fuse or Soft Fuse than some of the other fusibles that's out there, but it's a really lightweight paperback interfacing. And so how their products work, which is just amazing, and I'm going to find a great example here for you. But they have, and it might be that first one. This is going to be the best example. So this is one of their projects, and so this is called, oh my goodness, it should have a name. Doesn't it have a name? It should have a name.
Composed bundle is all it starts off with, but this is obviously a butterfly. But why these patterns are so cool is that because I didn't realize how applique worked ahead of time. Oh, it's right under the thing.
Oh, it is just called
Genius. It is just called composed, but it's a butterfly. We'll work with them on their naming pieces. But anyway, why these are cool is because, like, obviously applique, you're just like, wow, like, how did they do that? How is it so perfect? I used to joke with people that I failed cutting and gluing in preschool, and people really thought that was a deal. It wasn't. It's just that I wasn't confident with my scissor skills as a young child. Now I know I can cut very well. But how this works is so that they have it super organized on the back. Desiree is going to give you a close-up, but you can see the rectangle that's there and how it's got the colors of a certain color are all grouped together. So when you look at the cover, the front of the picture, like you can tell that there's some certain parts that are a light purple and a dark purple. You can tell that there's several shades of green. You can say that there's beige, the blues, the aquas, and it even has it again marked there on the back if you didn't notice it before, like where it says avocado, berry, whatever those colors are. So you get two different things inside of this pattern. You get one, this pre-printed fusible applique that has the exact shapes, they're numbered, they're grouped and clustered by color, and they're already nested together super well. So you don't have to worry about like, how much fabric do I need? Like if you're gonna do this avocado, if you have a charm square, that is all you need to be able to do that color for this part of the butterfly. So if you were going to do this out of your Tulip Pink stash, this would easily be something that you would be able to cut apart and organize, and you're going to be able to fuse these pieces to the back of that fabric. And then the neat part of where the light box comes in for this project is that the other piece that's in here, this other thick piece, is the actual pattern for this, which has the whole layout of the butterfly. So this butterfly is a great size. I know it's going to be somewhere easily here. It's right here on the back of this first flap. It's 50 by 30, so it's pretty good size. This was like, I don't know, was it 20 by 26 or something like that?
19 by 26.
19 by 26. So this isn't going to fit the entire butterfly, but it's going to fit a significant, at least half of that butterfly. That's the applique part. And so you're going to have this paper pattern down, and then you're going to have whatever this light colored background piece on top of it. And you're going to be able to see through the placement on the paper pattern through onto your actual background fabric. And you're going to be able to start taking those shapes that you cut out so beautifully with your perfect scissors, and you're going to be able to iron that as you go on your tempered glass part of your cutting mat. So that should be like the aha moment of like, that's how easy it is. The hardest part is going to be cutting into your Tulip Pink stash to figure out what color of avocado and mocha you're going to be using for your butterfly. But it can really take all that guesswork out, because otherwise you have to, if you don't have a light box, then you kind of have to guess or go through and trace, or do the thing we joked about at the beginning of the Facebook Live where you have people will use their window to do their own light box tracing. But if you haven't had that moment where like you feel the blood drain out of your hand, then you haven't tried to do that before. I know that feeling because I've tried to do it before. And yes, tracing on your window is free, but it's also cold and has condensation, and the blood drains out of your hands. Where this is just going to be a lot easier for you to do what that piece is. So again, that's a little bit of how this works. So some of the patterns that they have that we have in stock right now is this composed butterfly. We also have the Sylvester Seahorse pattern, which this one is really cool, but it's got some great pieces to it. We have this kind of enchanted deer, which has some really great pieces in it. It's actually called the Stag. But you could see how that could be, I can already see Desiree. She's like, ooh, it's a deer. I could do that. My husband would be super supportive. It would go with his real collection of actual deer. But this one is another one, people love Colorado, the mountains. This one would be really fun to do, obviously, with black and white. I will cut you. This is the one that I have had in my stash for a while because I've been so excited about it. So again, these are all pre-printed already on Fusible. You don't have to worry about going to the library, printing it at home. It's printed already on the right Fusible. and it's got the layout grid. This is one that has a beautiful dove. This one is called Happiness, but it's another beautiful project that is going to work the same way. What other ones do we have here? That's another one of Happiness. We've got another seahorse, but those are just some examples of that. This is another random applique project that would be great for this, but this is octopus tentacles on top of, you would piece a Bargello table runner and then do these applique octopus thing, but this would be great to do on a light box. We also have another brand that is a little different but similar, and so this one is a pre-cut laser cut applique piece. So this already has the Goodnight Earthling stuff is already cut, and they're already, so you don't even have to have scissor skills to do this. It's that easy, but you are going to follow the layout that is included in here, and that is again a time where you can use the light box to use for your placement through the fabric. We have things like this that again are from, this has Kansas. It even has the Keeper of the Plains. Thank you. It just wasn't going to quite come to me. But this again, all this stuff is pre-cut, so you don't have to worry about how are you on earth are you going to have the skills to cut a buffalo bison out, because it's already done for you. But you can have the joy of placing these together and putting them, because we are so close to Oklahoma. We don't just have Kansas, we have the Oklahoma one as well. So that's pretty cool. But if you're going to use this to go through your magazines and find those applique pieces and trace those and make your own versions of like what they've done, you're like, this part doesn't intimidate you at all, then that's where you can be using your hot fix sheets. You can use your flexi fuse sheets. You can use any of these types of fusibles when you do the light box and the tracing, because it'll all work. So I hope you guys have had kind of an aha moment today with how applique works. And the CutterPillars, I hope you take advantage of the Goddess applique bundle and the retreat bundle, because we do really believe that these are a great way to preserve and really bring your light box to different projects. So thank you guys for watching. Again, if you have questions, you can let us know. But this has been a great journey into the world of applique. So thanks for watching.